Okay, so today we're going to tie a pattern that I kind of been playing around with. I don't really have a name for it quite yet, but it's a midge pattern that I've been fishing for a couple years now that I tied, and it is by far one of the best, not only winter fishing flies, but it works fantastic as a dropper too for the summertime. So if you're trailing a dry fly, this fly is fantastic for fishing off the back of a dry. Fish hit it super aggressively. It's kind of weirdly colored, but I really like the green that it ends up looking like. So to start off, I have a size 16 hook with just some brown thread. I kind of like having that dark body underneath. And to start off, we're just going to dress the hook up. And then from this point on, we're going to kind of build a body, a nice tapered body for this fly. Alright, so the next step for this fly is going to be to get some green wire. We're going to use that to make the body segments after we get that body material in, but we're going to put that right behind the bead head and then just work it right back. Do your best to keep it on top of the hook when you're wrapping it back, but if it's not perfect, it's totally fine. And we're just going to wrap that right back all the way to the bend. And then we're ready for our next material, which is going to be some a little bit of flash. So we're just going to cut off a little segment of that and then tie that in right behind, well, not right behind, right about midsection of the body. We're going to tie that in. Alright, so at that point we're ready to go. We just want to cover up all the bare spots with our thread that we left behind from tying in our materials. And you're going to meet the front of the fly here real quick, and then I'm going to whip finish really quickly so I could use my rotary feature on my vise to wrap this around. Alright, and then the first thing we're going to do is take the flash material and start wrapping around the body. You want to be careful to get it, nice even segments. You don't want any of that thread underneath to be exposed. We had a little slip there. Alright, then we're going to tie that off right at the front of the fly. And if your tie off point is not perfect, don't worry about it, because we're going to put some dubbing actually on the front of this too. So we're going to tie that off, and then we're going to do the exact same thing with our wire. So I'm going to whip finish this again really quickly and then start wrapping. For the sake of the video not being too long, I didn't include me whip finishing it, but I did just do that. And for the wire, you want to actually wrap it the opposite way that you wrapped the body material to kind of seal it in really tightly there. And we're just going to do that. Nice even segments. Ooh, almost slipped out of my hand. That wouldn't have been good. And we're going to finish right behind the bead, like I said, with the same thing as the other material. Right behind the bead, tie it off. And then to get the wire off, we're just going to helicopter it. And it should pop right off just like that. And to finish this off, I'm going to use a very small amount of ice dub in caddis green. And for this, ice dub's kind of finicky to work with, so use less than you would think you would need. Because if you put too much on, it kind of covers up the bead and doesn't really look quite right. So you don't need a ton, a really small amount. And just like that, we are finished up with this fly. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but it's got, obviously it's all green. And it's super shiny. It'll attract a ton of fish. Why can I not whip finish? There we go. So yeah, it's a great pattern for winter, great pattern for floating behind dry flies. Overall, I think everybody needs these in their fly blocks. They're super fun to tie, not too hard, and they end up looking pretty cool. and you know, bottom line, they catch fish. So tie one up, give it a shot, and good luck out there.